What's up on Power Rats Crew? Today's video we're showing you something you really should do for your YJs. YJs have a central axle disconnect, and one of the common mods for the central axle disconnect to get rid of it is get TJ axles, XJ axles, or in this case, ZJ axles. What? ZJ? No, don't get froggy on me here. I know that some ZJ axles come out with the CV shafts, which really isn't a bad thing, but they're not quite as strong as the U-joint axles. Now the early ZJs, and this is a 95 ZJ with the 5.2 318, this particular rig right here has the U-joint axles. So what's the video about? We'll show you guys how to pull them. It's quick, simple, and actually I'm shooting the intro at the end of removing all of this. It went a lot easier than I thought it was going to. So sounds like a fun video. Check it out. Peace. Roll them. In today's video, we're pulling front axles from a 1995 Grand Cherokee. What's so special about them? For one, it's a V8 rig. For two, most ZJs are CV shaft rigs, but these have U-joints. These should have the much bigger, beefier U-joints being a V8 rig, so we're going to pull these for rust bucket. So to pull these axles, first thing you got to do is got to get your brakes off.
12 millimeter.
12 millimeter. Mine worked over here with a 1/2 inch. Talking about the brake.
Yeah.
I got a 1/2 inch over here. So it could be either 12 millimeter or it could be a 1/2 inch, whichever one you decide to fit. So you got one here, and one way down here somewhere. There's my finger. There it is. So take those off and pry the caliper off. And once you get those two bolts out, normally it just takes a screwdriver to pull them off. These are being cranky, so I'm about to put the pry bar to it. But if you take the caliper, pry it back off the rotor. Lucky me, I got the hard side, so Wayne's already got that side out. So what we do next, right down here for your unit bearing, 13 millimeter 12 point. You got one there, and one there, and one up in here. And what I'm going to do, I'm pulling the unit bearing and all. I'm going to keep the backing plates and the bearings. So reason you do that, if that bearing's good, it's, oh, that pumpkin's loose. So we'll check that bearing when we get it out. If that bearing's good, we'll reuse it. But being I don't have the 36 millimeter or 32 to pull that, I'm going to take the unit bearing with me too. So get those three bolts out. Every now and then you might get a little bit of lucky. You got them bolts out. Look at that. It's cracking open already. Did we get that lucky? Did we get that lucky? Come on, baby. Be that lucky for me. Help me get lucky. Look at yonder. She pulls right on out. There's a short side shaft. Like I said, we're going to keep the unit bearing on there. For one, because I ain't got the socket with me to pull it off. For two, it's a pain in the tail. And I'm going to keep my back in place because the ones on rust bucket are done. Another thing too, on an off-road rig, have your set of axles set up with unit bearings on them, because it's a lot easier if you break an axle on the trail to change this whole assembly right here. 3 bolts, pull it out, throw the other one in, 3 bolts back in, you're back on the trail, you're rolling, versus changing up the unit bearing. So have you set another set of axles set up to where you can just pull unit bearing and all and swap them out. That wasn't so bad, was it?
Working us off.
Absolutely. So everyone, there's your junkyard video showing you guys how to pull axles out of a ZJ or XJ, either one to work. ZJs, this particular one being a V8. Honestly, this is actually the same day we just finished pulling the WJ knuckles for rust bucket as well. And we just happened to walk through the yard and spotted this rig. It's been built, it's been beat, and he said, hey, it's a V8. Like, oh, wait a minute, what axles does it have in it? Because ZJs come out with 2 different style axles, CV shaft axles, and they come out with a U-joint axles. This particular one, U-joint, very, very good. I said, hey, we got to have these axles. I need it for rust bucket. So there you go.
40 bucks a piece.
Yeah, $40 a piece. Yeah, I'll take them. So everyone, if you enjoyed this video, hit me with a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Leave some cool comments down below, and I really appreciate you hanging out. Peace. Later, y'all.